Hey everybody, what's up? It's Carlos Sanchez. I'm here at 48 West Northfield Road in Livingston, New Jersey, and I'm at Full Spectrum Quantum Wellness. Last video I made, I showed you how I was able, with this pendulum, detect detrimental energies. This is a pendulum invented by Dr. Ibrahim Karim, and this is known as a vertical pendulum, and this comes from Cairo, Egypt. And what I did was I used a remote control. Let me move some stuff out of the way. I used a remote control like that, and I was able to detect detrimental energy. That means energy that is anti-life, that is not pro-life, is not promoting life in any way. It is dehydrating. So I go over the pendulum and I go in a search position. That means back and forth. And then when the pendulum resonates with something that is detrimental, it starts to go clockwise, right? Like it's doing right now. It's going clockwise because it's detecting a detrimental energy. This pendulum only resonates with detrimental energy. So I transmuted it using shape information. I used this logo of our company here, Full Spectrum Quantum Wellness. This logo is designed using biogeometry principles. Bio meaning life, geo meaning earth, and metry meaning measurement. So anyway, if you see here on the outer edge, there's 8 dots here, and there's 8 dots on the other side, on both on the left and right side. That is 16 dots, and that's using that quality of number along with the color that's used in the logo, the color of the letters, and also the petals to transmute detrimental energies. So repeating what I did last time, I'm tuning in the pendulum using the principle of proportion. This is everything that's been invented by Dr. Ibrahim Karim. So once again, we're going to go over the remote, and it's in search position. When it starts to pick up detrimental energy, it'll start to go clockwise like it's doing there. I'm going to go to the outer edges of it. If you can envision a toroidal field, the way a magnetic field spins around a magnet, like we've seen in high school, that's what we're detecting right now. So I use the shape information, I place it on top of the remote control, and now I go in a search position once again, seeing if we get a hit on the detrimental energy, and it is just going back and forth. I remove the shape information, and the pendulum is going clockwise, right? That means it's detrimental. So, okay, so that's that pendulum, right? This is the vertical pendulum. What I wanted to show you something new today is the horizontal pendulum. I had to think about it for a minute. So this pendulum is horizontal. What that means, this dial, in comparison to this one, is going in a east-west direction. This dial on the top is going east-west, right? Left to right. Where this pendulum, the dial is going north-south, right? Up and down. So vertical versus horizontal. Horizontal pendulum allows me to detect beneficial energies, right? On a person, place, or thing. That's a big statement right there. Person, place, or thing. So that means you can also do this on a person, just like it said. So let's tune in the string length, and let's come on this side, see if it's a little easier to see. We're going over the remote control. The remote control is in search position, back and forth. If it starts to resonate with the remote control, it'll start to go clockwise. This pendulum only detects beneficial energy. So basically, it's not going clockwise because the remote control is not beneficial. But if we add this shape information and we stay with it, the pendulum now starts to go clockwise. starts to go clockwise. So the remote control still works. It still functions as a remote control, but we haven't changed the quantity of it. We've changed the quality of it. Very important distinction. When a person starts talking to you about science, start talking to you about different healing modalities or anything for that matter, if they're not taking into consideration the quality of an item, i.e. the wave of an item, and all they're talking about is the particle of the item, or they're just referring to material science, they're missing half of the equation, and their premise is faulty. So just to have you be aware of that. So there it is. So now let's do it again. Let's just do this shape information with the horizontal pendulum. Move this out of the way. I'm just going to go over it. Search position, back and forth. If it determines that this is beneficial, this pendulum will start to go clockwise. So the pendulum has determined, is showing us that the image below it is a beneficial image, that is a life-giving image, that is a healing image. And I'm using the word image, it's shape information going clockwise. So what else can we correct? A cordless phone could just as well be as a cell phone, but I can't use my cell phones because all of my cell phones have corrections on them. Right there. My iPad has a correction on it. Almost everything I have has some sort of correction. So this cordless phone, is it beneficial or is it detrimental? This pendulum only tells me if something is beneficial. If it's not beneficial, it will not go clockwise. So we're going back and forth. I'm going a little loose with it, but back and forth. Does it start to go clockwise? No. It's not going clockwise, it's just going back and forth, where the other pendulum will go clockwise because it only picks up detrimental energy. Now, this is something that anybody can learn. This is not any like special thing that you got to be born with an ability, blah, 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 blah. Or you need the Holy Ghost to come down and baptize you. Anybody can learn this. So see how this thing is spinning? Spinning more than it was with the remote control because this is more detrimental than the remote control. The remote control has a lower power to it. So spinning, you'll be holding this to your head. You probably got one of these in the kitchen. Probably got 3 or 4 of them in the house. So if we put shape information on it, will it continue to go back and forth? A corrective shape information. Now it's just going, now it's just going back and forth. It's not going clockwise anymore. Let's remove that. And it's going clockwise. That means it's detrimental. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to give you let me show you one last thing. And this is what's known as a neutral pendulum. This is also, if you want to do some more research against this biogeometry, but also you could look up French radiesthesia or medical radiesthesia, is a form of detecting the subtle energies that are all around us all the time. All the time. We're like fish in water that don't know that they're in water. So this neutral pendulum is able to tune in to my personal wavelength. Let me actually leave the remote not too far away. And what that means is I'm going to tune into my personal wavelength. I'm going to let the string slip through my fingertips, and then it will start to go clockwise. As it starts to go clockwise, that means it's tuning in to my frequency. My personal wavelength. Now also be aware that I have a lot of protective jewelry on. And this protective jewelry is energetic hygiene that I use because when you're doing this kind of testing, you need to make sure that you're protecting your own personal wavelength. So there you go. It's going clockwise. That means I'm pretty strong or whatever. It's nothing unusual. But when something that is anti-life or detrimental to my personal wavelength, the pendulum will start to slow down. It'll start to go back and forth. And depending on how detrimental it is, it'll start to go counterclockwise. Right now it's going clockwise. So when I grab the cordless phone and I hold it over my hand, the pendulum The pendulum starts to, I'm going to rest my elbow because my arm's getting tired. The pendulum slows down. It's going to start to go back and forth. It's going to start to go counterclockwise because I know that this is detrimental, and there it is, counterclockwise. That means this is dehydrating, this is anti-life, it's not promoting life. And this is one of the biggest threats to mankind, is electronic radiation. This is a bigger threat than greenhouse gases. When it comes to dehydrating and warming up the earth, this is the biggest threat. Electric cars, solar panels, that sort of thing. All right, everybody, so stay tuned for the next video. We're going to take it up a notch as we start exploring how to develop our organs of spiritual perception. See you in the next video.